When I was in 3rd grade, I was diagnosed with dyslexia. When they found out I had a learning disability, all people hear is disability. I felt like the people who should have had my best interests gave up on me. It just trained me to give up quickly on myself. I remember getting on the ride and I was concerned when I was in line and they push it down and it just stopped. And he's like, you know, inhale, and he's like pushing on it. I just said, let me out. And they're like, no, we don't. I said, let me out. So I came up with the bright idea. I would get back on my ATV and I would start racing. Surely racing would get me into shape. But the next morning, I find myself at an orthopedic surgeon's table telling me my body just can't carry all the weight that it's been carrying. I need to change my life. At that moment, I saw my mom, because my mom's had both of her knees replaced and she didn't change her life. And I just saw me go in that direction. And I've got grandkids and I'm just not that old. When I walked out of that office, I looked at my wife and I said, I need to get DDPY. And she said, yeah, you do. I had seen Dallas on Shark Tank, and seeing Arthur there and seeing that bit of his story, I felt good about that. So I ordered the DVDs, and when I watched the video about Dallas's life.
At 30 years old, I was still reading at about 3rd grade level. But at 31, I made a decision.
That I was in the right place. When I saw the bed workouts, when I saw the chair workouts, I'm like, this program really does meet you where you're at. It comes to you. And I could see my weight was dropping, although I wasn't focused on that. I was focused on just how good I was feeling. I knew I was getting healthier. I knew I was getting better. The physical limitations of what was holding me back is no longer holding me back. At the end of June, I weighed 180 pounds. So in less than a year, I lost 120 pounds. I talked to my doctor about everything I've done. Lucky enough to have the same family doctor for at least 20 years. And I came back and he sat down, he just looked at me and just said he was so proud of me. And that was just so good to hear, that he was proud of me and what I'd done. And he wanted to hear. We sat in there for like 20, 30 minutes.
For one day only, I'm coming to WrestleCon, Sunday, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. before WrestleMania.
It was at least a 2-hour drive from our home. And my wife the whole time, she's like, we're buying tickets to WrestleCon to see one person. Yeah, to just get an autograph and talk to him for a few moments. Yeah. So we get to WrestleCon, we go around, we're going through the other wrestlers. I'm looking for Dallas. I finally find out which room he's in. And I'm coming through the aisles of the wrestlers, and I look, and as I come around the corner, I look down, I see Dallas and Paige. I'm standing in line, and all the emotions just like hit me. Everything I've been doing, the weight loss, the pictures, the struggles, the victories. And I walk over to Dallas and I couldn't talk. He could see the emotion on my face. And I totally didn't expect this to happen. He just came up out of his chair and just put his arms around me. And it was like, okay, now I can talk. Because it just, I just could show him the pictures. And my wife said it was at that moment she got it, that she understood what this program meant to me.
That's why you take this advice.
When I saw you on Shark Tank and you just popped into that, and then when I saw you on Jolene, and I'm like, I gotta get where I'm just stretched out all the time.
Ain't nothing better than that. Ain't nothing better than that.